You want to avoid getting head trauma. If you ride a motorbike, be careful. If you ride a bicycle, be careful. If you drive a car, be careful.
Preventative measures.
You don't want to get a head injury. You don't want to fall when you ride a bicycle. Because every time you cause trauma to the brain, even hitting a football, many cells die. They have already shown nowadays all footballers, especially the guys who score the most number of goals, have brain degeneration. They have also shown in rugby players. The most important are boxers.
Yes.
All of you have heard of Tyson and Muhammad Ali. All of them died young with brain degeneration. So try to avoid those type of sports. Go for the sports where you have to use your limbs, not so much as your head. See?
So you're looking at degenerative brain disease, and you're actually seeing that happen more common now.
Yes.
In the last, you said, 15, 20 years especially. So there's clearly something going on that's accelerating the human aging from your specialism, neurology. So you mentioned high blood pressure. You also mentioned narrowing of vessels.
Yes.
But ultimately, what you're actually talking about, a decrease in perfusion of the end organ. And in your case, your end organ is the brain.
Yes.
Aren't you?
You're correct.
If you're a cardiologist, you'll be looking at a decrease in perfusion of the end organ, which is the heart.
This is the heart.
Which is again the coronary
Muscle.
arteries and muscle degeneration.
Yes.
So hypertension, blood pressure, and hypercholesterolemia, too much fat, actually is a culprit.
Those three culprits can be avoided. Hypertension may be hereditary, but quite often it's secondary to drinking excessively. Being under pressure, undue pressure from your work or by people, avoid that. Important thing in life is to enjoy life. Be satisfied with what you got and try to improve yourself. You see, go for periodic checking of your pressure once you have hit the age of 30.
30.
30. And
That's
nowadays,
young.
once you're 40, you must check your lipid profile, they call it. That means the fats in your body. If it's high, you have to take medication. There are medications available. Anti-lipids, they call them, or 𝕝𝕝𝕝. You see? And also, as you grow older, you have to take vitamins to fortify your bones, your tissues, your nervous system, your visual system, your hearing system. All these are important. What you see, you remember. What you hear, you memorize or deduct from there. So all parts of the nervous system have to be fed, and other than usual nutrition, after the age of 45, because the alimentary system doesn't absorb very well, you take 45 pills called vitamins.
So you believe in the power of supplementation because
Yes.
as we naturally age, our guts naturally don't absorb as much.
Yes.
So we need the best quality products
Yes.
to penetrate through the gut mucosa and finally get to the end organ. That's what
Correct.
you're
The
saying.
end organ is important because you want to be able to move independently, go to the toilet independently, drive a car independently, as far as 80 to 90 if you can. So to live independently, your muscles have to carry you. So you have to keep moving all your life. Always do spend at least 1 hour of your living life on some mobility exercises. You don't all have to go to a gym. The house itself is a gym. You can do a lot of work at home and make that into a gym. If you've got a compound or a yard there in front of your house, you can work there. Okay? And other important thing is prevention. Most important is prevention. You don't want to decay any of your brain, of your muscles as you grow older.
Decay.
What
do
to
you
prevent decay is do various forms of exercises so that your shoulder muscles are carry movement, create mobility, range of movement. You can create it all yourself. You know, you go against a pillar and try to push it. Then you try to pull it. You can't budge it. But you're strengthening your muscles, strengthening your tendons, stimulating your brain cells. There are a lot of things you're doing when you're doing a simple thing, just as pushing. Or you take a roller and push it up and down, up and down on a pillar 20 times every day. That increases your circulation to your brain. It increases motion, circulation to your arms. Also increases your range of motion of your arms. But most of the time when I see patients who are getting older, they're getting unsteady on their feet. So I tell them from the age of 60 onwards, walking alone won't do. Walk on your toes in the house.
Why toes?
Because you stimulate all the end nerves, the ending of the nerve. Then you walk on a heel, supporting all your weight on both the heels. And you're this walking barefoot is easy. But when you're walking on your toes or walking, it's harder. And because it's harder, it stimulates. Stronger stimulation goes into your spinal cord and through the spinal cord into your brain. And so in the brain, the cerebellum, your balance organs are stimulated and your mobility is stimulated. And your muscles are under tone, under tension. So they become stronger and you don't have loose muscles in the thighs or the calves. So it's a simple process. You don't have to go and see a specialist for that. You do your own toe and heel walking every day, once in the morning, once in the evening. 20 steps to and fro.
So when you're talking about doing these dynamic exercises, because you've always believed and talked about muscle tone.
Yes.
And you've always taught us to grow muscles when we were younger, so it
Yeah.
almost future-proofs your future.
Yeah.
So are you saying that we should now in our 40s, 50s and 60s continuously build muscle so that we're protecting ourselves in our 70s and 80s?
Your body is like everything else. Money is as well. If in the past you have saved your money, in the future you are able to live independently. The same way you build your muscles in the past. Simple exercises. So when you are 60 and 70, your muscles are still in good form to carry you upstairs, to let you lead an independent life. The most important thing is to lead an independent life and be able to control your bladder and bowels also. Most important. So the muscles are very important for everybody. Facial muscles to look nice, look young, look pleasant. You got to work on it all the time. You see, I mean, you can artificially make your facial muscle tighter nowadays, but you got to work on it from youth so that it doesn't age prematurely.
So we're talking about the same conversation now, premature or accelerated aging of the brain tissue, the cardiac tissue, for me, the skin tissue. Now we're talking about premature aging of facial tissue as well and skeletal muscle, right? So can I ask you a question?